Welcome back to Arsenal Trends. Today's transfer update is packed with the latest news surrounding Arsenal's summer plans. We'll break down the latest reports on Bruno Guimaraes, the Gunners' continued interest in Vinicius Jr., and what these stories could mean for Mikel Arteta's squad. Stay with us until the end for a full analysis of the biggest Arsenal transfer headlines. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for all the latest Arsenal news. Arsenal's summer transfer window has entered a fascinating stage, with several important developments taking place at once. The biggest story surrounds Newcastle United captain Bruno Guimaraes, who is now widely reported to be on the verge of joining the Premier League champions. At the same time, Arsenal continue to explore the possibility of signing Real Madrid superstar Vinicius Jr., while midfielder Christian Nørgaard looks set to leave the Emirates after Everton reached an agreement in principle to sign him. The Bruno Guimaraes story has gathered significant momentum over the last few days. Multiple reports indicate that Arsenal and Newcastle have made major progress in negotiations, with an overall package of around £80 million now being widely reported. While Arsenal have not yet officially announced the transfer, reliable journalists report that the clubs are close to completing the final paperwork before the Brazilian undergoes a medical and signs a long-term contract. For Arsenal, Bruno represents exactly the type of midfielder Mikel Arteta has been searching for. The Brazilian combines aggression, technical quality, leadership, and Premier League experience. Since arriving at Newcastle, he has developed into one of England's best midfielders, becoming captain and one of the club's most influential players. His arrival would significantly strengthen Arsenal's midfield options. Alongside Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, Martin Zubimendi, and Mikel Merino, Bruno would give Arteta one of the strongest midfield groups in European football. His ability to recover possession, dictate play, and contribute going forward would add another dimension to Arsenal's style. Although reports suggest the deal is very close, supporters should still wait for an official announcement before celebrating completely. Transfer agreements can still require final documentation, medical examinations, and signed contracts before becoming official. While work continues on Bruno Guimaraes, Arsenal have also been linked with one of the biggest names in world football, Vinicius Jr. Reports suggest the Gunners remain interested in the Brazilian winger and are considering a huge offer that could reach €100 million. Arsenal are also reported to be prepared to offer an exceptional financial package if circumstances allow a move to become possible. However, no formal transfer has been completed, and discussions remain at an early stage. Signing Vinicius would represent one of the biggest transfers in Arsenal's history. The Real Madrid forward is regarded as one of the world's elite attackers, possessing exceptional pace, dribbling ability, and goal-scoring quality. Bringing such a player to North London would immediately transform Arsenal's attack and send a strong message across Europe. However, completing such a deal would be extremely difficult. Real Madrid continue to value Vinicius highly, and Arsenal would need both the player's willingness and a successful agreement with the Spanish giants before any transfer could happen. At this stage, the interest is genuine, but the move remains far less advanced than the negotiations for Bruno Guimaraes. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta recently confirmed that the club still expects further reinforcements before the transfer window closes. Although he did not specifically confirm individual negotiations, he made it clear that Arsenal want to continue improving their squad after winning the Premier League title. Meanwhile, Arsenal's transfer activity is not only about arrivals. Christian Nørgaard is now expected to leave the club after Everton reached an agreement in principle for his signing. The experienced Danish midfielder struggled for regular minutes during his time at Arsenal and is now set for a move where he can play more consistently. Reports suggest Everton are expected to complete the transfer for a fee of around £7 million once the medical is finished. Nørgaard's departure would also help Arsenal balance the squad while creating additional room for new arrivals. With Bruno Guimaraes expected to strengthen the midfield if negotiations are completed successfully, Arteta appears ready to reshape his options ahead of another demanding campaign. Overall, Arsenal's transfer strategy appears focused on improving quality rather than simply increasing numbers. Bruno Guimaraes offers leadership, Premier League experience, and world-class midfield ability. Vinicius Jr. represents a long-term dream signing capable of transforming the attack if circumstances eventually allow such a move. At the same time, allowing players like Christian Nørgaard to leave demonstrates the club's willingness to refresh the squad and maintain healthy competition. The coming days are expected to be crucial. Arsenal supporters will be watching closely for official confirmation regarding Bruno Guimaraes, further developments surrounding Vinicius Jr., and the completion of Christian Nørgaard's move to Everton. As Arsenal continue to reshape their squad ahead of the new campaign, the club's recruitment strategy appears to be focused on adding proven quality rather than simply increasing the number of players available to Mikel Arteta. That approach explains why names such as Bruno Guimaraes and Vinicius Jr. continue to dominate transfer discussions, even though neither move has been officially completed. Among the two stories, Bruno Guimaraes remains the more advanced. Reports indicate that negotiations between Arsenal and Newcastle United have progressed significantly, with both clubs continuing discussions over the financial structure of a potential deal. While supporters are understandably excited, it is important to remember that no official announcement has been made by either club. Until contracts are signed and medical examinations are completed, the transfer cannot be considered final. If Arsenal succeed in bringing the Brazilian midfielder to North London, the impact could be immediate. Bruno has already established himself as one of the Premier League's best midfielders through his performances for Newcastle United. His ability to control possession, recover the ball, drive forward with confidence, and deliver accurate passes would provide Arsenal with another world-class option in midfield. Mikel Arteta has repeatedly spoken about the importance of competition for places. Every successful team needs depth, especially with the demands of competing in the Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, and Carabao Cup. Adding a player of Bruno's calibre would increase competition throughout the midfield and give Arsenal greater tactical flexibility during the season. The Vinicius Jr. story is very different. Reports linking Arsenal with the Real Madrid winger have generated excitement because of the player's incredible quality, but at this stage the move remains highly speculative. Real Madrid continue to regard Vinicius as one of the world's elite attackers, meaning any transfer would require extraordinary circumstances and an agreement that satisfies both the player and the Spanish club. Even if Arsenal admire the Brazilian, completing such a transfer would be one of the biggest deals in football history. For now, supporters should treat these reports with caution until more concrete developments emerge. Meanwhile, Arsenal are also expected to balance their squad through departures. Allowing players with limited first-team opportunities to move on would create space for new arrivals while maintaining a healthy squad size. That process is a normal part of every transfer window and often becomes just as important as signing new players. The coming days could prove decisive for Arsenal's summer business. Negotiations can move quickly, but they can also change unexpectedly. For that reason, fans should wait for official confirmation before celebrating any major signing. One thing is clear: Arsenal remain ambitious in the transfer market. The club are targeting players capable of strengthening the squad immediately while maintaining the long-term vision established under Mikel Arteta. Whether Bruno Guimaraes becomes an Arsenal player and whether the club eventually make a move for Vinicius Jr. will be among the biggest stories to follow as the transfer window continues. That brings us to the end of today's Arsenal transfer update. As always, remember that the transfer window can change very quickly, so it's important to wait for official announcements from the clubs before treating any deal as complete. Arsenal continue to be linked with some of the biggest names in world football, and the coming days could be crucial as negotiations develop. We'll be here to bring you every major update, reliable report, and in-depth analysis as soon as it happens. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like, subscribe to Arsenal Trends, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the latest Arsenal news, transfer updates, match previews, and exclusive discussions. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Come on, you Gunners.